Hi, I'm Allison. I've worked with hundreds of nannies across the country. New grads, career pros, live-ins, live-outs, newborn care specialists, rota nannies. And I can tell you something that most people never believe at first. There really are nannies earning $150,000 a year and more. But here's the truth. It isn't about luck. It's about how they think, how they show up, the way that they carry themselves inside a home. Let's talk about how to get there, because the path is not mysterious. It's teachable, and it's reputable, and it starts with mindset. Every top-tier nanny I've ever met thinks like a leader. They don't wait to be told. They anticipate. They see a need and they move towards it. They walk into a home and think, what can I do to make today smoother for this family? Not, what's next on my checklist? That's the shift. Take ownership instead of taking orders. It's where professional confidence begins. Families can feel the second you walk through the door. What separates a good nanny from an extraordinary one is rarely written on paper. It's the awareness that you have when a parent is stressed out, but really quiet. It's the instinct to read the room before you act. That's emotional intelligence, and it's worth more than any certification. You can learn schedules, crafts, lessons, planning, sleep training, but what you can't fake is presence. And presence is what earns trust. I always say, most jobs are trainable. We spend so much time chasing the perfect candidate. Every skill, every certification, every box checked. But here's what I've learned after so many years in this field. Most jobs are trainable. What really matters is a willingness to learn. And the real asset is a teachable attitude. Skills can be taught. Software, it can be learned. Processes can be explained. But curiosity, drive, humility, those are priceless. Every top chef started at the sink. Every great designer, they once fumbled through their first project. And every confident leader once shook before their speech. Every skilled caregiver once said, I'm willing to learn. So if you ever feel underqualified, remember this. You can teach skill, but you cannot teach hunger. Hire yourself for your mindset. Train yourself for mastery. That's how you grow from good to exceptional. Something else that is so important is I feel like boundaries in this industry. High-earning nannies aren't the ones who say yes to everything, but I will tell you, they are the ones who communicate clearly and they communicate kindly. They don't explain, but they also don't quietly drown. They say things like, how can I best help the kids instead of what's next? That tone, professional and respectful, gets you respect fast because families don't pay for tasks. They pay for trust. Professional presence is also such a big one. You don't need designer clothing or fancy makeup, but you do need composure. The $150,000 nanny, so put together. Sounds calm. She carries quiet confidence. She treats every moment in the home as part of her professional representation. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Communication, it is your superpower in this industry. Families fall in love with clear communicators. Text a family updates. Today was great. We tried a new routine and it really worked. Tomorrow I'll tweak the nap by 15 minutes. That is leadership language. It says, I've got this handled. And that's when that allows parents to exhale. Good communication is what transforms you from an employee to a partner. The other important aspect is know your worth. You can't reach $150,000 while thinking that you're a $25 an hour nanny. But that also doesn't mean that you're arrogant. It means clarity. Know your strengths. Know your impact. Know when you can explain why a home runs better because of you. There's measurable calm. There's consistency. Happier kids. You're negotiating with data, not with nerves. You're not charging for hours. You're charging for outcomes. I think that also comes with emotional maturity. Top nannies don't take things personally. And you're probably thinking, gosh, that's so hard. You're in such a personal setting. But they know how household dynamics are emotional terrain. When tension rises, they don't react. They process before they speak. Because in a private home, your calm becomes everyone's calm. That steadiness that you have, that's why families stay. The best nannies, they never stop learning. And that's one thing that I've realized. They take workshops. They read books. They ask questions. They stay curious. Because every professional I've seen grow into six figures did it by saying, teach me. Growth mindset It's not a slogan, but it should be your daily habit. And every time that you invest in yourself, you raise the ceiling for what this career can be. Be the person who finishes what she starts or he starts. Show up 5 minutes early. That is so important. Follow up. Keep your promises. Families notice consistency more than grand gestures. Reliability is what turns trust into tenor, and that's how you become the nanny they never, ever want to lose. We all want longevity in a job. That's what gets it. There's so much more to it, but pieces start with small little stepping stones. This isn't about money. This isn't about dignity, pride, the ripple effect that you create when you operate at your highest level. Every time you walk into a home with excellence, you make this industry stronger. You change how families see nannies everywhere. You show that childcare is leadership. So if you're ready to step into that next version of yourself, the one who leads, earns, respects, and feels fulfilled in their job, start with mindset. Start with presence. Start with believing that you deserve to be there. Because you do. Because every expert was once a beginner. Every confident professional once whispered, I'm willing to learn. You have everything it takes to be the top 5% of this industry. And I'm Allison with Pink Nannies, where we redefine what it means to be a professional nanny.